Have I got a treat for you today here on the DnDaily vlog? This topic is something I've wanted to approach and talk about for some time and wasn't exactly sure how to go about it. So guess what? I enlisted a friend of mine, and this is going to be the first of a series of guest appearances here on the vlog. I have my friend Ben here to tell us all about random encounters. That's right, random encounters, and I enlisted Ben, my good friend. You can find him online at the Curious Owlbear. He is on Twitter and here on YouTube as well. His videos are fantastic. Every one of them is chock full of lore and deep advice, amazing content, wonderful stuff. I will include his information at the end of the video here, and of course below this video in the information section. Now I'm gonna let Ben take over this topic altogether because there's so much to cover and he does it incredibly well. So without further ado, let's turn it over to Ben.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Curious Owlbear, and I'm here with a very special video for you today for my good friend Gregory over at the 1N20 DnD channel. Hi Greg, I hope you and your family had a great holiday season, and thank you for the request. Today, we're talking about random encounters in D&D 5th edition, when to use them, how to use them, and how to use them to further the storylines that you've already created. Let's dive in. In previous editions of Dungeons & Dragons, getting from point A to point B was often the majority of the adventure. Players would run into difficulties at every turn, and would need to track specific resources to ensure that they got to where they were going. In some ways, this turned D&D into a little bit more of a survival game than we experience today. In 5th edition, however, random encounters are often underused or overlooked entirely. Getting from point A to point B is often a fairly trivial experience, with players engaging in some RP or maybe noticing some small details like recent tracks in the nearby area. These small details do not tend to lend credence to the great writing that goes into creating a D&D world. However, with the use of a few random encounters, you can get your world feeling more full and more alive. For example, if the players are able to make their way from one city to the next without engaging with any other travelers on the road, it might make it feel like a zombie apocalypse has just occurred. If instead you consistently engage your party with traveling merchants, other people on the road, flora or fauna from the region, then it automatically has your world feeling more magical and more alive. One of the easiest ways to do this is through the manipulation of weather. For example, if your players are traveling through a forest, you can use a percentage die or a d20 roll to determine how the weather will be for the day. In a forest, there might be the chance of wind, rain, snow, sleet, or even magical storms, like there are in the Ghosts of Saltmarsh module. When considering how to use random encounters, you should first think about what you are trying to accomplish. For example, perhaps your party has been active in a particular city over the last several weeks, but they haven't had a chance to run into the NPC who worships the sun god Pelor. Your goal in this example may be simply to introduce your players to the NPC, but you can do so in a myriad of ways. Perhaps a cleric is giving a sermon on the street corner, a mysterious ritual could begin in the city, or the party could recover a valuable sigil that needs to be returned. Depending on the objective you hope to reach, a random encounter could be the perfect way to get your players going on a specific storyline. And that leads us into our last point, which is how to use random encounters to further the storylines you've already created. As you run a session, make sure to take notes on which NPCs, themes, or motifs your players are drawn to. This will give you an idea of the details that really matter to your players, and you can use this list to prepare your future random encounters. For example, if the party's cleric obviously hates the Temple of Lolth, you could definitely provide him with an opportunity where he can expel a bunch of spiders out of a basement. Alternatively, the cleric could run into a drow who was formerly in worship of Lolth, but has since left for a life of adventuring. This type of random encounter could provide the cleric with some noteworthy allies, or point them in the direction of some enemies of their enemy. The possibilities for random encounters are truly endless. If you start with simple random encounters such as weather manipulation, you'll get a lot more comfortable using them in your game. Secondly, make sure that you have a clear understanding of the objective you are trying to accomplish. And finally, consider the storylines that you've already created and add details that your players will love to engage with. I hope you've enjoyed our brief look at random encounters. If you need ideas for random encounters in your world, head over to my YouTube channel, The Curious Owlbear. There, I have videos for forests, deserts, mountains, and Underdark encounters. And my list is always expanding. Until next time, stay curious, adventurers.
Was that amazing or what? I mean, so chock full of incredible insights and information. I'm probably gonna have to listen to it 2 or 3 times to take it all in because there were so many good points that you just made, Ben. Thank you very much for being a guest. I look forward to playing a game with you again soon. And you, my friends, may have recognized Ben. He was the Jamrel the Bard in our Icespire Peak game that we got to play together over on One Crit Wonders channel. If you haven't seen that yet, I highly suggest you go check it out because Ben was amazing, as were all the other players I got to enjoy with. And it is a fun game. There's 10 sessions and we hope it's just season 1 of this group, and you can check that out. And of course, if you liked Ben's information, you want to know more about random encounters, how to incorporate them into your games, and of course just all kinds of great information. Ben's lore videos about D&D are amazing. They're so incredible and I just love everything he's doing. So by all means, check out The Curious Owlbear. I'll put some links up in here and of course information below this video right here on YouTube. Go check out Ben, what he's doing, support him. He's a good friend and he makes amazing content. And by all means, please check this video out next. I hope to see you at a table someday. Keep rolling 20s, my friends, and remember, it's your game, play your way.